Good morning. Welcome to our class this morning. Uh, just to let you know, I have a bit of a cold, so I apologize for the voice, and if I cough, it's not too bad. I feel fine, but it's that time of year, end of November, cold and flu season. So I hope that you're healthy wherever you are, whenever it is that you're watching this. And today our theme is it's around finding ease, which is a perfect theme for um, this time of year if you're feeling a bit dragged down, to really connect with a sense of ease and peacefulness in your body and in your mind. A challenging thing sometimes to connect with. In yoga, we have a balance between effort and ease that, ideally we're striving to find in each pose. Um, too much ease and the pose collapses if we're not engaged, too much effort and we create tension in the posture. So this balance of effort and ease. And certainly postures like Shavasana, very easy to find. Well, I shouldn't say very easy, but easier to find a sense of ease. Sometimes we lie down and we're quiet and the mind just goes insane. And that is quite normal too. When we're busy, we don't notice that the mind is so busy, but when we stop, sometimes the mind can really come into the forefront and we realize just how busy we are. So if that's your experience when you lie down and you try to relax, that your mind wakes up, know that that's quite normal. So today we'll start with postures and positions that ideally are pretty easy to relax in, because we have the support of the ground and we're not doing anything too strenuous. As we go through the class, and little bit by little bit, upping the possibility of effort. And your challenge is to up the effort only as much as you can also up the ease, right? So if the effort's here, but ease is here, there's going to be a lot of tension. So when we, slowly increase the amount of effort that we're putting in, can we bring a sense of ease to that? So using the muscles and the actions that are required to hold that pose, but not more. So we don't need to work too hard. And I think often in life we're pushed to work too hard, to prove ourselves, to show that we're good enough. And you are good enough as you are right now, whether your yoga pose is lying in Shavasana for the whole class, or whether you're standing on your head and doing cartwheels, it doesn't matter. You are good enough as you are. So take a deep breath. And even if you don't believe that right now, just feel what that feels like to honor yourself a little bit this morning. You are enough as you are right now. You don't need to prove anything to yourself or anyone else to be okay. So as we work with the practice today, maybe keeping that in mind. If you're exhausted, if it feels like too much effort, it's not about no pain, no gain, or pushing as hard as you can to achieve some pose. It's really about honoring and being true to yourself. So I will meet you on the mat with hopefully beginning with a little bit of ease and getting into what that might feel like for you this morning. All right. So you can lie down on your mat. As always, if you prefer, you could sit. Any other position that you find that you can be comfortable and relax in. There are many layers and levels to our being that we could bring ease to. The most outward and obvious is the body. So as you come to your mat or wherever you are this morning, connecting with the earth, noticing your body, and tune into areas that feel at ease. And sometimes this is just the absence of tension or a more neutral feeling. But can you connect with areas of your body that feel easeful, that feel relaxed? And then if there are areas of your body that are the opposite, that feel tight or constricted or even painful or uncomfortable, can you just touch those with your mind without dwelling there? So notice where are areas that maybe don't feel so much ease. And at this point, we're not trying to change anything, just noticing what is. Can you allow yourself to notice what is without judging or trying to change anything? Maybe just saying to yourself, oh, I notice some tension here or there. I notice some pain here or there. And letting the mind scan and notice whatever is present for you right now. Another area that we may be aware of some ease or effort, and the combination or balance of the two is the breath. So as you tune into your breath, notice, does the breath feel easeful, light, fluid? Or are you challenged with the breath? Does it feel like an effort to breathe? Or maybe you feel that the inhale is more relaxed and easeful than the exhale, or vice versa. So tune into your breath and notice without judgment, or even again without trying to change anything, that balance of effort and ease. Does it feel more easeful or more effortful for you this morning? And then you might tune into your mind, your state of mind today. As you pay attention, try to simply watch the mind as if you were simply an observer, completely objective, watching the thoughts flow through. Do your thoughts feel light and easeful? Do they feel constricted or heavy? Do you get stuck on one thought? Or do the thoughts just meander through? And then you might also take a moment to check in emotionally today. Do your emotions feel free and easeful? Do they feel tight, constricted, or tense? Is there a lightness or a heaviness that you can discern in your emotional being? Again, it's not about judgment or trying to change anything, but noticing, where are you right now? Taking a baseline, noticing of what's going on, being aware, and practicing as much as possible that non-judgmental self-awareness. And then letting all of that go. When you're ready to begin to do a bit of movement, you can draw your knees up in towards your chest and bring your bring your palms over your knees with your fingertips pointing toward your toes, and let your shoulders relax. Have straight arms. The knees are a little bit away from your body. And then even in this simple position, could you find more ease? Let the shoulders relax. Grip with the hands just enough to hold the legs, not squeezing or digging your fingers in. And then let's allow the breath to really create and foster this movement. So as you begin to breathe, as you not begin to breathe, continue to breathe, as you take your next exhale, feel that your knees, just a little bit of movement with your hands, and the knees gently fall towards you. As you breathe in, it's like the breath moves down into the body and starts pushing the legs away, and the hands and arms just follow. Take extra breaths in between if you need to, so that you can really take your time with this. Keep checking in that you're not bringing tension to your hands or arms, shoulders, neck, face, jaw. And gradually let your feet come back to the floor. And bring your arms to your sides. The next one, we'll raise the arms overhead, and almost as if you're floating through water. When you start to feel restriction or feeling like you're nearing the end of your range of motion, stop there. Your hands don't have to come to the floor, though they might. And then bring the arms back down. So it's really an exercise in doing the movement with as much ease as possible. If you want to coordinate your breathing, inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower, or just breathe and move freely. Next time the arms are coming down, we'll start bringing the knees alternating toward the chest. So one knee comes in, and it's not about pulling the knee as hard as you can to the chest, bringing the hands to the knee and just allowing that little bit of weight to drop the knee down any amount that's comfortable. And then you'll do the other side. Please keep breathing if I'm talking and forget to tell you when to breathe. So if you're coordinating breath, inhale, arms up, foot down, exhale, knee in, hands to the knee. But as always, follow the wisdom of your body. If you want to breathe at a different pace, move and breathe freely. And next time you bring the down, arms up, keep the feet down, and bring the arms down to your sides. And then you can take the arms and move them a little bit away from your body. And we'll work with the twist in a way that focuses more attention on the exhale. The exhale is the phase of the breath where we relax, where we let go, and ideally, theoretically, find a little more ease in the body. The inhale is about energizing and creating a bit of, excuse me, a bit of tension. Right? We need tension to be upright. Our muscles need to tense to do movement or to be upright. We just don't need all that extra tension that squeezes our jaw shut and that sort of thing. So focusing on the exhale, taking a breath in here. With your next exhale, take your knees to one side. Your head can turn the other way if you like. Stay to the side and take a breath in. And then exhale to come back to center. So we're only going to move it on the exhale. You'll come to the center and breathe in. And then exhale to create the twist to the other side. Stay there and inhale. And then exhale back to center. Continue like that a few more rounds. So you're always inhaling when you're stationary, exhaling when you're moving, inhaling when you're stationary, exhaling when you're moving. Maybe one more to either side. And then when you come back to the center, you can bring both knees in towards your chest and repeat the movement that we started with. And again, find that same amount of ease if possible. Watching the grip of your hands. There's no need to strive. If your knees only come a few inches towards your chest, that's fine. If they come all the way in, that's also fine. And depending on the shape of the pelvis and the femurs and that relationship between the bones, it may be more or less possible for you to bring the knees in, depending on tightness. And then let's keep the right knee into the chest and extend the left leg on the ground. Keeping that left leg active, toes up, heel down, thigh engaged. Start a little side to side movement, taking the knee to the right and then to the left. You can make that into a bit of a circular movement if you like. And then taking the knee to the right, we'll pass it to the left hand. And if it feels good to you, you can roll a bit onto your left hip, bringing the knee across your body into a twist, and then back to the right, opening. Don't worry about how you're breathing. Just make sure you are breathing. And then back into the chest. We'll bend the left knee, take the right ankle over the left thigh. And you can either leave your legs right where they are. For most people, a little stretch in the outer right hip is common in this pose. You can also bring the legs closer to your body by bringing a block under your foot if you have one handy, maybe using a belt to reach behind your leg, or if it's available, use your hands. And you'd be reaching behind your left leg if your right ankle is up. Once you're here, if you like, you can rock a little side to side. If that feels good to you, you might feel the stretch move around in your right hip a little bit. Great. And then let's bring the foot to the floor. Uncross your legs. Breathing in, take the arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring the left knee in. You can extend your right leg. Heel down, toes up, thigh engaged. And then a little movement, a little to the left, a little to the right. Maybe adding a kind of circular movement. And then a little more side to side if you like. You can roll onto your right hip, bringing the leg across the body. And then back onto your back, out to the left, over to the right. Any amount that feels right for you. So really honoring your own needs, your own body, staying with as much ease as possible, not pushing, forcing, striving, but allowing each movement to unfold with as much ease as possible. Coming back to the center, You can bend the right leg, bring the left ankle over the right thigh. And again, this side may feel quite different from the other. Choose the right position for you. Foot can stay on the floor or elevate onto a block, or use a prop to help bring the leg closer like a belt, or your hands. And you could stay still or rock a little here. And then coming back to the center, releasing both of your feet to the floor. Bring your heels so they line up underneath your knees. And take your arms to the sides. Really relax shoulders and arms. So whatever you need to do to find a good position, it could be palms up, it could be palms down, it could be arms closer or further from the body. Finding a position where your arms feel like they can completely relax. And we'll work with very gentle bridge pose, lifting and lowering dynamically and finding the expression of this pose that brings the most ease to your body. So exhale, press down into your feet, and then inhale, start to lift the hips. Let the legs do the work. The upper body comes along for the ride, just drapes over down toward the ground, and then exhale, lowering down. So continue that, almost as if your breath lifts you as you inhale. And then the breath, the exhale, sinks you back down. With as much ease as possible, a few more. And then this time, you can choose to stay in the pose. If it would feel more easeful for you to keep moving, keep moving. If you can hold the pose without bringing tension, stay for a number of breaths. And of course, there's muscular tension. The buttocks are working, the thighs are working, the legs are holding your upper body. And then your upper body, as much as possible, find the ease. Can you relax your face and jaw a little bit more? If you need to come down because you're bringing tension to the pose, please come down. Otherwise, a few more breaths here. The legs are working. They may even start shaking. That's fine. Let the effort be what it needs to be without over-efforting. So relaxing what you can relax here, what doesn't need to work to hold you here. And then when you're ready, you'll slowly release down. Pause when you get back to the ground. Take a couple of breaths. Let go of any extra tension that you may have inadvertently brought into the movement. And then again, we'll bring the knees in. You can move forward and back as we've done already this morning, or you could add lifting and extending the arms and legs. And then back to the chest. Whatever movement suits you. And then knees to chest. You can rock a little side to side if you like. Perhaps circle the knees. Good. And then giving your knees a little hug. Relax your shoulders, face, jaw. Take a few breaths here. You can clasp the hands over the shins or hold each knee separately. Sometimes it feels a bit better to take the knees wider. Gives a little more room for the belly and the breath, whatever feels good to you. Big breath in, exhale, and slowly release. Take a few breaths. You can bring your feet to the floor, hands to the belly. If it's more comfortable to stretch your legs out, that's fine. Take a few breaths here. So then from here, take your legs and stretch them along the ground. Have a little bit of space. The legs aren't quite right together, but a little bit of space between your legs. And take the arms out to the sides and leave a little bit of space between your arms and your body. And then imagine a line through the center of your body from the top of your head, through your nose, mouth, through the center of your chest, belly, one leg on either side. And the exercise here is to bring effort or tension or contraction to one side of the body while focusing on relaxing and bringing ease and effortlessness to the other side. Let's start by focusing on the left side and feeling the left side sink down and become heavy, soft, relaxed, full of ease. And then starting with the right foot, you're going to turn the toes toward the ceiling. Flex the foot, squeeze up through the calf and thigh. You can try to squeeze just the right side of your buttock, maybe even the right side of your abdominal muscles, coming right up to the shoulder and arm. If you can even find a little engagement in the right side of your face, keep relaxing the left side. So as much as you focus on bringing some engagement to the right, you're focusing just as much on relaxing the left. Good. And then relax the right side, relax both sides. Take a couple of breaths. And then we'll shift the attention to the right side and focus on softening and relaxing the right side now. Right leg, right arm, the right side of the torso, shoulder, neck, face. And then we'll bring some engagement to the left side. Starting at the foot, toes point up, calf engaged, shin, knee, thigh, the left side of your buttock, the left side of your abdominal muscles, chest, shoulder, arm, neck. You can squeeze your hand, even maybe finding some engagement in the left side of your face while relaxing the right. So again, as much as you're bringing awareness and engagement to the left side, could you focus on relaxing the right a little more? Holding two opposing challenges at once. The challenge of bringing tension, the challenge of bringing ease. And exhale and release. Take a few breaths here. Let the whole body soften and relax. Find ease through the whole body. And then when you're ready, we'll switch positions to come upright. So you could bend your knees and move over to one side and come right upright. So from here, you can make your way onto hands and knees, table position. And again, with as much ease and effortlessness as possible, finding The hands planted under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Feet can be tucked under if that feels more comfortable for your ankles, or flat. And we'll let the tail lift and let the whole spine follow from the tail to the head, coming into a gentle arch, shoulders drawing back. And then let the tail lead the movement, tucking under. And the spine rounds like dominoes, coming around the head, releasing. As you inhale, let the tail start and the spine unwind. And if you feel a lot of pressure on your wrists, you can do this also on your forearms. So tailbone leads the movement, the spine follows. Feel free to explore other movement if you want to add child's pose. You can move the hips back toward the heels. If you want to add some other movements, maybe some circles would feel good. Try not to hold your head rigidly. So allowing the head to move as the hips move and finding whatever movement and action feels good to you. If you're feeling a bit more energetic and strong, you might come up into downward dog, tucking the toes under, and finding as much ease as you can. Keep your knees bent, let your head release. If you choose not to come to downward dog, child's pose is a great alternative. If you're in downward dog and you want to walk the feet toward the ground, feel free. Try to relax your neck. Find ease in the back of the neck. And then eventually lowering the knees and coming to, if child's pose is comfortable for you, there's some people with issues around knees prefer to have a blanket to stop the knees from fully flexing. You could be on your forearms, even having the hips up a little higher, or head on the hands or the ground, knees together or apart. And find again as much softening and ease as you can in child's pose. One or two more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll come back upright to all fours. And make sure you have enough space in front of you so when we come to lie down on the belly, that you're not, that you've got your head somewhere where you're comfortable on your mat. So if we start kneeling and walk the hands, if you have the hands underneath the shoulders, imagine walking your hands about a handprint forward. So where your fingertips are, you're going to bring the heel of your hand, and then you'll move the hips forward. So the hips, knees, and shoulders are in a line. So you don't want to sag down here. You want to keep engaged through the core. So it's definitely, and if you need to find a different position for your hands, just rock back and then come back into the pose. So you want your wrists underneath your shoulders, definitely not behind your shoulders, which is hard on the wrists, but if it's easier for you, the hands could certainly be ahead of the shoulders, and that puts a little bit less pressure on the wrists. So from here, bend the elbows. You can now let the body roll to the ground, slowly coming down. And when you get there, slide the hands forward. Your toes can either tuck under or be flat, and forehead down. So just as we did in bridge, we're going to activate the lower body and keep the upper body as light and free as possible. So starting with a breath in, as you exhale, press down into your hips, gently engage the buttocks, press down into the thighs. Feel your Legs strong and engaged. You can press into the tops of your feet or into the toes if they're tucked under, and feel really strong and anchored through your lower body. Bring as much softness and lightness and ease to your upper body as possible. The lower back is going to do most of the work here as we lift, and you don't have to lift high at all. But as you're ready, inhale and lift any amount that you can lift with complete ease, or as much ease as possible, and then lower down. As you come down, you could turn your head to one side. I'm a little bit, my microphone's a little bit in the way for that for me, but as you come down, you can turn one way, you'll come back to the center to lift up, come down to the other side. So the breath here, inhaling as you lift, just the legs and lower back doing the work, the upper body so light and free. And then next time you come up, if you like, you can stay. And as you're staying, really take that opportunity to find as much ease as possible. Relax your jaw, your face, your arms, your neck. The arms aren't doing anything here. They're just hanging out. Keep pressing down into your hips. Relax the back of your neck. Feel a little lift through the shoulders, but not squeezing or forcing. And then slowly come on down. You can bring your head onto your hands if you like, or turn your head to one side, whatever feels good. And then let your toes turn in, your heels fall out, and let your hips relax. You can even rock a little side to side to make sure that you're not continuing to hold that tension through the hips and legs. Take a few breaths here. If you're not comfortable lying on your belly, just come back to all fours. You can repeat the cat-cow movement. Letting go of all of the effort and tension now, finding as much ease as possible. And then again, when you're ready, you come back up to all fours. And we're going to step forward for warrior. So if you want to use your blocks under your hands, if that's helpful, you can. And you can either step forward from downward dog or from all fours. So I'm going to step forward from all fours since I'm here. Left foot comes forward. You can rock a little forward to tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee. And let's step the back foot forward a little bit so we have a really shorter than normal stance for warrior. And here, lifting up, upright. And keep a little bit of bend in the front knee so that the front knee is just over the ankle. And ideally, this feels like a well-grounded and easeful position for you. If you want to step your feet even closer, it'll be more grounded and easeful. So find the position where it feels that sense of being planted and solid. A little bend in the front knee and feeling that sense of as much ease as possible. And then from here, lifting the arms up, taking a breath in. And we'll keep that bend in the knee as we bring the hands down onto the front thigh, keeping the spine nice and long. Press into the back foot and reach forward with the crown of your head. And then lifting, breathing in, and coming forward. When you come forward, let your gaze come down to the floor. So the back of the neck is not being strained. So if we keep looking forward as we come down, putting some tension into the neck. So we want to avoid that. Good. This time, lower the arms to the sides. And we'll step back, feet together. And then switch sides. So take your right foot forward. Turn your left foot out. Again, find the amount of distance between your 2 feet that allows you to feel as grounded and as easeful as possible. And then from there, breathing in, the knees bent over the ankle. We'll keep it there as you come forward, long spine, back of the neck in line with the spine. Breathing in and exhaling. And again, next time you come upright, release the arms to your sides and step the feet back together. So we'll do a similar kind of movement, but I'm going to invite you now to add a little bit more effort if that feels appropriate for you. So remember, when we add more effort, we have to also focus on finding more ease. Otherwise, we just create tension. So in this next position, I'm going to invite you to take the stance a little wider if that feels okay for you. Certainly be, mindful of the hips and lower back, that you're not overdoing it. It's not a contest to see, can I go further than, I feel is like really good for me, just to get the glory of feeling that challenge. That's not what it's about today. It's really about, can I up the challenge just a bit and keep finding ease in that effort. So if you start nearish the front of your mat, we'll take a breath in and come upright. Exhale, you can bring your hands down to the knees, the blocks, or the floor. And in fact, if you're taking your hands to your knees, it'll be the left knee. And then you'll step back with the right foot. So maybe stepping back a little further. And if you want even more challenge, have the back foot pointing forward. So you're up on the ball of your foot rather than turning the foot to the side, which is going to give you a lot more stability. So if you want more stability, foot to the side. If you want to work a little harder, foot goes back further, toes and ball of your foot on the ground. Same thing here. You want to try to have the knee in front lined up over the ankle. So the further that back leg goes back, the lower you sink down and the more effort this is. So find the position that you feel you can find that balance in. And then from there, lifting the arms, breathing in, exhale, same thing, hands to the knee, coming forward. If you found a position that is too challenging and you're wobbling all over the place and bringing a lot of tension, then switch your feet. Come back to a version that finds the right balance for you of effort and ease. And again, bringing your hand back to the front knee or the floor or the blocks. We can step forward. Hands one on each knee. Take a breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, fold forward, let your head release. You can let the arms come down if you like, or rest your elbows on your thighs. One more breath. And then hands to the ground or blocks, or to the right knee, step back. And then same thing. Excuse me. Inhale, lift. Exhale, legs stay in the same position, upper body coming forward. Lifting and forward. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Great. And then We'll step back to our beginning position. The hands can stay on your front knee or move to the blocks or floor. You'll step forward, one hand on each knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, either elbows to knees or hanging forward. Bend your knees a little. Let your head go. Take a few breaths. And then all the way up. Breathing in and exhale to release. And coming back to Tadasana, the mountain pose, feet roughly hip width apart and more or less parallel. It could be, slightly further apart or slightly turned out, just whatever feels comfortable for your knees and ankles and hips. Sinking down into the heels, feel your legs active, so that feeling of knees drawing up, thighs engaged, heels going down, and then feel that your upper body, with that support of the lower body, can be free. Feel this openness across the chest, hanging down through the arms, a lightness through the neck and head, jaw and face. And then from here, we'll work with Utkatasana, the chair, or half, it's actually Ardha Utkatasana, half chair, half squat. And we'll do it 3 different ways. Easy, medium, more difficult. And then we'll hold the pose. And when you hold the pose, you can choose from one of the 3 that we've already tried to. So if you want more ease, you want more effort, and you can still keep the ease, you can choose a more challenging version. So take a breath in, coming up. As you exhale now, bring your hands to your thighs and keep your chest lifted as you send the hips back and down. And then inhale. Now we'll repeat that same position. Exhale. Coming down. And actually, I'll show you from the side one more time. So we're not leaning forward. Hips are going back and chest staying lifted and not so far back that you fall. So exhale one more time here. Good. And then this time, if you want it to be a little bit more challenging for you, keep your arms out in front as you come down. We'll try that one again. And then if you want more challenge again, arms stay up, exhale, keep the chest lifting as you sit. And release. So hopefully that informs you of maybe the best position to choose to stay for a few breaths in the pose. So again, finding that balance of effort and ease. And of course, the longer you hold the pose, the more challenging it gets. So if you need to change from this position to this position partway through, please do. So it's not about, oh, I picked the wrong version and now I'm straining. You can change your mind. So when you're ready, lift up. Exhale to find the best position for you. So it could be here, here, or here. If you still want to work harder, you can sink your hips down, raise your arms higher. But finding the position that you can stay in for a couple more breaths here. And then slowly lift and release. Pause for a moment. Let your breath settle. And find that sense of ease again in your body. Of course, Utkatasana requires effort. So let go of that effort now. And then when you're ready, you can make your way back down onto your mat. When you come to your mat, take your knees up into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze, and then maybe repeat that forward and back movement. And then gradually let your feet come to the floor. Bring your hands onto your abdomen. And take a moment to let the body settle. So notice where you have maybe a little bit of tension around the shoulders, neck, or jaw. Soften that. Finding ease in the hips and lower back. Do a little bit of, again, very gentle movement here, starting to wind down, finding our way towards our relaxation to end the class. We're going to move one side at a time. So first will be the right side. As you take a breath in, extend the right arm and leg away from each other. If overhead for your arm isn't comfortable, out to the side is great. Take a breath in as you move to that position. And then as you exhale, turn your head to the left, away from the side that you've just moved. Inhale, head to center. Exhale, return your hand and leg to where they started. You can take a breath here, and then next inhale, extend the left arm and leg. As you exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale back to your starting position. Really important, the arm is relaxed, so don't extend it overhead if it's then uncomfortable and doesn't reach the ground and you're twisting. Out to the side is fine. Inhale here, exhale, turn. Inhale, center. Exhale back to where you started. Maybe do a couple more at your own pace. If the breathing and movement coordinating feels uncomfortable or confusing, just do the movement. Breathe normally. Excuse me. Coming back to the center. Let's again bring the knees to the chest. Keep the elbows on the ground. Really relaxed hands rest on the sides of your thighs. And let the knees gently open into the hands. The hands support the legs. And the knees come back together. You can inhale as the knees open. Exhale as you bring them back together. And then maybe bringing the hands to the knees and doing a few circles, or you can rock a little side to side or repeat forward and back as we did earlier. And then when you feel complete with that, you can bring your feet to the floor and find whatever position will be comfortable for you for Shavasana to relax in. So it could be back to the starting position of the last pose, hands on the belly and feet on the floor. It could be arms to the sides or legs stretched out. So whatever works for you. And you'll stay here or change positions if you prefer. Allow your eyes to close if they're not already, if that's comfortable for you. And then coming back to a feeling of your body on the ground, feeling the support of the ground beneath you. And with that knowledge of support, could you allow your body to relax into that support a little more? Relax the hips, the pelvis, the buttocks, and feel the middle of your body sink. Let your legs go, your thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and feet falling away. Feel the muscles of your abdomen relax and the lower back sink down and release any tension or holding. Feel the weight of your rib cage and let your shoulders go. Feel your arms release. Let your hands be even a little softer if possible. Relax each finger. Relax your neck as much as possible. Let the weight of your head be supported by the ground. Feel your jaw relax. All of the muscles of your face soften. Even the skin on your scalp could maybe relax a bit more. Let go of any effort now. Let the body be completely supported by the ground so that you can let go completely any tension, effort, or holding in your body. Maybe notice now how your body feels compared to earlier when we checked in at the beginning of the class. Do you notice anything perhaps that shifted or changed? Whether that's the tension or ease having shifted somewhere in your body, or maybe left your body or entered your body in some way. So notice what's different. Check in with your breath again. The inhale and the exhale. The level of ease that's present for you. You might also be aware of your thoughts and emotions. We're not trying to change anything, just bringing awareness to what is in this moment. Maybe noticing, is this different from how I felt an hour ago when we began the class? And as you continue to breathe and soften and relax, share with you one of the many chants that invites peace into everything that we do, in every way that we are. We invite peace and ease. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Rutam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Om. As usual, if you'd like to stay in Shavasana a little longer, you can just stop the recording or ignore any further instructions. And if you're ready to move on with your day, you can start to deepen your breath, add a little movement, stretching and moving any way that would feel good to you until you're ready to roll onto your side, preparing to transition back to sitting. And take your time to do that. There's no rush. And as you go back into the world, back into your life, back into the everyday, see if you can take with you this challenge to find balance between effort and ease. And when you meet those challenges in your life that would generally create tension or resistance in you, can you then also engage with enough ease to balance that tension or resistance? Namaste. Have a beautiful day.